Right now, you are surrounded by things people call artificial intelligence. The app that unlocks with your face, the one that finishes your sentences, the one that paints a picture from a sentence, the thermostat that learns your schedule. We slap the same two letters on all of them, AI. Like they're one creature, they are not. AI is a costume worn by at least seven completely different machines, and some of them are about as intelligent as a light switch. So, this is every type of AI stacked from the dumbest to the one scientists are genuinely nervous about. And keep one question in your head the whole way up because I'm going to answer it at the end. Out of all of these, which one is actually thinking? The answer is going to bother you. Here's the trick to understanding all of it. AI isn't one invention, it's a ladder. Each rung solves a problem the rung below it couldn't. And every smart thing you own is standing on exactly one of them. Climb the ladder in order, and the whole confusing mess suddenly clicks. So let's start at the bottom, on the rung that barely deserves the name. The first type is called rule based AI, and it's the oldest trick in the book. A giant pile of if this, then that. A human sits down and writes every rule by hand. If the customer types refund, show this menu. If the chessboard looks like this, move that. There's no learning, no thinking. It's a flowchart wearing a lab coat. The chatbot that loops you in circles until you scream agent. That's this. The thermostat rule your dad said in 2006, that's this too. It feels intelligent right up until you do something the human writing the rules didn't predict. And then it face plants instantly, which is exactly the problem that created the next rung. Because you can't handwrite a rule for everything. So, in the second type, machine learning, we stopped writing rules and started showing examples instead. You don't tell it what spam looks like, you show it 100,000 emails labeled spam or not spam, and it figures out the pattern itself. This is the quiet workhorse behind almost everything. Your spam filter, your credit card getting declined the second someone clones it. The you might also like that somehow knows. It learned from data, not from a person. And most of the AI running the world silently today is still just this. But basic machine learning has a ceiling. It's great with neat, organized data, like numbers in tidy columns. Hand it something messy like a photograph and it chokes. Which brings us to rung 3, deep learning. This is machine learning with a brain inspired twist. Layers of artificial neurons stacked on top of each other. The bottom layer notices edges. The next layer assembles edges into shapes. The next turns shapes into an eye, a nose, a face. Nobody programmed this is what a cat looks like. The network built that idea itself, layer by layer. This is what lets your phone recognize your face in the dark, translate a menu through your camera, and understand you when you mumble at your speaker. Deep learning is the moment AI stopped needing everything spelled out. Now, some of these networks don't learn from a pile of labeled examples at all. They learn the way you taught a dog to sit, reward and punishment. That's the fourth type, reinforcement learning. Drop it into a game with no instructions. Let it try random things millions of times and reward it whenever it does well. It will teach itself to walk, to play, to win with zero human strategy handed to it. This is how a computer taught itself the game Go and beat the world champion with a move so strange that grandmasters thought it was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It was a machine that had played more games against itself than any human could play in 1,000 lifetimes. Okay, everything so far has been AI that recognizes, sorts, or reacts. But around 2020, AI learned a new verb create. And this is the rung you actually live on now. The fifth type is generative AI, and its most famous form, the large language model, ChatGPT, and everything like it. And here's the part that genuinely surprises people. At its core, it is doing one absurdly simple thing over and over, predicting the next word. Note that's it. You give it the sky is. And from everything it read on the internet, it calculates the most likely next word is blue, writes it. then predicts the word after that and the one after that. String a few billion of those guesses together, and you get essays, code, poetry, this argument you're having with it at 2 a.m. It is the most powerful autocomplete ever built. Hold on to that phrase, and powerful autocomplete, because in about 90 seconds, it's going to detonate everything you assume about these things. Now, generative AI doesn't only do words. Point the same idea at images, and you get the sixth type, diffusion models. And these work in a way that sounds insane. You know TV static, pure random noise? A diffusion model starts with a screen of that garbage and then removes noise, step by step, nudging the chaos toward a picture that matches your words. It doesn't paint like a human, stroke by stroke. It sculpts a photo out of static. That's how a sentence becomes a photorealistic image of an astronaut riding a horse in 4 seconds. It's not finding that picture anywhere, it's carving it out of noise. And the newest rung, the one every tech company is scrambling for right now, is the seventh type AI agents. Take a language model, Shakespeare's the powerful autocomplete it kicks in, give it hands. Let it use tools, browse the web, run code, click buttons, send emails, then let it loop. Look at the goal, take a step, check what happened, take the next step. Instead of just answering, here's how you'd book a flight, an agent actually goes and books it. This is AI that doesn't just talk, it does. And it's exactly as promising and as alarming as that sounds. So there's the latter rules, then learning from examples, then deep networks, then trial and reward, then generating words, then generating images, then taking actions. 7 types, one costume. And now, the question I told you to hold, which of these is actually thinking? Here's the answer, and it's the twist. None of them, not one. Every single rung you just climbed is what researchers call narrow AI. A machine that does exactly one kind of task and is utterly blank at everything else. The image model can't add. The chess program can't chat. And that genius language model, remember, it's autocomplete. It doesn't know that the sky is blue. It has no idea what a sky is. It has never seen one. It only knows that the word blue statistically follows the sky is. It's a mirror held up to everything humans have ever written, reflecting our patterns back so smoothly that we swear something is home behind the glass. Nothing is. It's the most convincing impression of thinking ever created. And impressions are exactly what it's made of, which finally names the top of the ladder, the rung that doesn't exist yet. Artificial General Intelligence, AGI, one machine that could learn any task a human can, understand instead of imitate. Take what it learned playing chess and apply it to running your life. Every AI you have ever touched is narrow. AGI would be the first one that isn't. And here's the honest truth nobody selling you a subscription wants to say out loud: we do not have it. Not close, some argue. Right around the corner, others swear. Nobody actually knows. And because the line between flawlessly faking understanding and actually understanding is the exact line none of these machines has crossed yet. So the next time an app calls itself AI, you don't have to be impressed or afraid. You can ask the only question that matters. Which rung is this? Is it a flowchart in a lab coat, or autocomplete with a silver tongue, or something that finally genuinely understands? Because for now, every single one of them is standing below that top rung, doing a breathtaking impression of thinking. And knowing the difference between the impression and the real thing might be the most intelligent thing in the room.